Hey everybody, and welcome to tonight's call. I have to share my screen really quick. Share screen. Okay, so can you guys all see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So tonight we're going to be talking about 7 tips for building a successful business. So these are kind of like general tips and maybe you already know them, but sometimes we all need reminding. So these are just kind of some fun facts, and I feel like they're really, really good kind of milestones or just like things to keep in the back of your mind while building a successful business. So first things first, we're going to do question of the day. Who is your celebrity crush? And I'm going to go in the order that I see you guys. Well, I see myself first, actually. So, my celebrity crush is Jensen Ackles. And does anyone know who that is? Because I feel like I say that and everyone's like, who the F is that?
Yeah, who's that?
You know who he is? Yes! So I'm all about pretty boys, and Jensen Ackles is super pretty. He is one of the brothers in Supernatural in that show. And he's just like beautiful, and he's my celeb crush.
Which one is he?
He's the one with the shorter hair, like the spiky hair.
Dean.
Yeah.
He's so beautiful. Yeah, Dean.
Yeah.
Yep. You knew his name. Oh gosh. So perfect. But yeah, I have such a thing for pretty boys, if you can't tell from Brian. Like I feel like I should like those rugged, like manly men, and then I look at Brian and I'm like, you're like a ballerina. Like you're so So I don't know what's wrong with me. But all right, Jo Marie, who is your celeb crush?
Chris Evans. He is
Oh, yeah.
I just like that booty. I'm sorry, I'm a butt person. Like there's nothing to grab onto. TMI.
No, not at all. All right, Brooke, you're next.
Well, I have 2, and I'm like a basic white girl. Probably Channing Tatum, number 1, and number 2, the guy from The Proposal. I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds. Oh my God, he's so hot.
Yeah, they're both very attractive. Totally basic white girl, but very attractive.
I have one that's like kind of not a basic white girl, Enrique Iglesias.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very pretty.
All right, Jenny, you up next. I feel like Jenny's going to be like, rugged, manly man.
Yeah, Jason Momoa.
I knew you were going to say that.
Wait, I don't know who that is. What's his last name?
It's
Jason Momoa, Aquaman.
Oh my God, he's gorgeous.
Yeah, you know, like he was on Lord God, I can't even think. Yeah, the Justice League. Oh yes, that like muscles and like just like he looks so bad. Like he could do some really, really bad things together.
He really did make sure that Aquaman was very manly in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
In Game of Thrones?
Yeah, he's in Game of Thrones too.
He's Khal Drogo, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Gosh, this is exactly who like the kind of person I thought you were going to pick.
That's exactly, yeah. I'm like, I can't go for the pretty boys. They're nice to look at, but I can't date anyone who's prettier than me. I just have like a complex about that.
No worries. Totally understandable. And then I think, Jen, you're next on my little.
Okay. So y'all are gonna laugh. I don't really have like a man celebrity crush, but I have the hugest woman crush on Kristen Bell. I think she's the cutest thing. And so
She is so cute. She looks like she'd be so much fun to hang out with.
I know, and I watch her Instagram stories, and she just like makes fun of her kids, and it's just hilarious.
I'm like looking her up because I'm pathetic and I live under a rock. What is she in?
She's in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, One in Rome.
She's got a new TV show now out called The Good Place.
Yeah, she's in The Good Place. Oh, she's Frozen. She's Anna's voice.
All right, my internet's not working, but I'm gonna look her up as soon as I can. I feel like I have a woman crush. I really old school, not really that old school, but I really like Sandra Bullock. Like there's just something about her that I really like. I don't know what it is, but she used to be my like girl celeb crush.
She is awesome as an actress, as a person. I would love to meet her. Like I would love to sit down and just pick on her brain.
Super, yeah, she's super cool chick. Alrighty, so I'm gonna.
So I won that one, right? Obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, basically.
We all picked like pretty white boys, and then we got Jenny in here with Khal Drogo.
Khaleesi.
Yeah. You could be his Khaleesi.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't tempt me with a good time. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to mute you guys for a little bit, but of course, as always, feel free to unmute yourselves at any time. Let me just find the button. I always, like, can never find this. Oh, here it is. Alrighty. Okay, perfect. So today we're going to be talking about, like I said, kind of the 7 tips for building a successful business. Just a few quick announcements, and these have been the announcements last week and the week before that, I believe. So To Be Mindset launched, you all know that. I'm pretty sure you all have it. So I'm super excited that we're going through it in that group together. Thank you. I think it was Jamie that suggested we do a coach group. So thanks, Jamie, when you watch the recording or hop on later for that, because I think it's really nice to have us all doing it together. Because I feel like more supported, you know, than just like kind of doing it on my own. Like I even have everything right here, and I'm trying out the zoodles and the zucchini squash for the first time. So it's been really good, and I'm really enjoying it. So again, $75 this month for coaches. There's going to be a nutrition tab on BOD. I think there is already, actually. And they're coming out with a nutrition app later on. And if you earn Success Club this month, you get a cool Joel bobblehead. And you also earn a photo op at Summit 2008, or this summit coming up in June. And then, of course, helping the team move towards elite, we created an elite boxer thread where all the coaches that want to really push are in. So that's been really awesome, too, because we can kind of focus on the elite checklist and kind of go from there, and really just know that we're all in this together, and we're doing this because, you know, we really want to be an elite team, and it's just been really awesome. And I mean, it's the first day already, but I really love like how it's going. So Success Club, just want to shout out some of you ladies. So Jenny's at 4, Jamie is at 2, Stephanie is at 2, Brooke is at 2, and I want to give a huge shout out to Stephanie for hitting Emerald rank. I'm so proud of her. It's so freaking awesome. I just can't say enough how proud I am of you. I know you're not on the call, but when you watch the recording, shout out to you, girl. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a shorter call, but I feel like it hits on a lot of really, really important topics. And just to like kind of preface everything, I kind of want to go through a few things before getting into like, you know, step 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. So I actually got some of this information from Melanie Mitro's call. She does like a business tip Tuesday, and I think she like, you know, she has a bunch of YouTube videos. So sometimes when I can't really think of what to do for these videos, I honestly go to Melanie Mitro because I feel like her leadership style is amazing, and like it's kind of like I feel like how I would lead. Like she's very straight to the point. Like she doesn't really BS too much. So I was watching one of her calls, and she was saying how, you know, she signs up coaches and they're all really gung-ho in the first like 30 to 60 to 90 days. And then all of a sudden they hit a roadblock and their like momentum just comes to a stop. And she was kind of trying to figure out, why is this happening and what can we kind of do to combat that kind of screeching halt? So, I mean, I get it, like things come up in life and everything like that, but she says like she was noticing this like pattern, and so she wanted to kind of address it. So these were kind of some of the things that she recommended, and I agree wholeheartedly with all of them. And I think they really help to just keep in mind. So again, like this is a business, and building a business is not always easy. There's ups and downs, and we all go through them. And it's just important that when you are down, you kind of pick yourself up, brush yourself off, and keep moving forward, because that's really where you're going to see the most momentum and success in your business and honestly in your life. So she was talking about like how everything you achieve is a result of consistent hard work over time. Nothing will be handed to you on a silver platter. And I mean, I've always been a go-getter kind of girl. Like I never really expected anything to be handed to me, because I just feel like I had like that innate, and like then again, there's millennials out there that expect like everything to be handed to them. Like I have a few friends that are like that, and I'm like, girl, you gotta work for what you want. Like it's not just gonna be handed to you. So it's really just important to remember that. And then if there's something goes wrong, you can ask yourself kind of what can I learn from the situation as opposed to feeling defeated. So I know we've all been there where we've kind of felt defeated. Something happens in our business and we feel defeated. It happens to me, honestly, like on a monthly basis. Like it's not something that only it's few and far between. Like it happens pretty consistently, but it's really important that when that does happen, let yourself feel upset about it, but then give yourself like an out, like, okay, I'm going to be upset about this for 24 hours and then I'm going to be done. I forgot who said that. It's like in a personal development book I read, like they allow themselves 24 hours to be upset about it. And then like once that 24-hour mark hits, that's it. They're done. They can't dwell on it anymore. And I think that's really important because it's important to feel your feelings and not push them down. But also when you're kind of over it, kind of look back and say, what can I learn from this situation and how can I move forward with this? And then, of course, utilizing the compound effect. So like that other bullet said, everything you achieve is a result of consistent hard work over time. And like the more hard work you put into this, it'll just build and build and build on each other over time to the point where you kind of get to a point and it's just like everything is routine, like it's built upon each other. And I always say, I think Gary Vaynerchuk said this. He said that your hard work now, you won't see until a year from now. So the things that you're doing now, you might not see instant gratification like right now. And you probably won't. If you do, I mean, that's awesome. Congrats. Like that's amazing. But you probably won't. And you will see though your hard work pay off in a year from now. And he said that, I remember actually listening to this call because it really struck me because I was having one of those down days. And he said something along the lines of like, people don't have enough patience. And I was like, wow. That's me. Like that was totally me. Like I think I was like a year into coaching and I was like, I wasn't diamond yet and I was getting so upset. Like I was literally beating myself up about it. And he just said, people don't have enough patience and they because they don't have patience, they kind of quit right before they hit, the diamond in the mine. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that graphic. It's like a miner and he's digging for diamonds and like right before he hits the diamond, he like gives up and walks away. And I was like, oh my gosh, Gary Vee is so right. Like I don't have enough patience. And I mean, any business takes patience and it's something that's not innate for most people. Like for me, I'm not very patient and I really had to teach myself patience, and like just hearing him say that made me like, whoa, he's talking about me. Like that's amazing. So it's really important to kind of do some self-reflection and realize how you can kind of grow and learn from situations. And again, it's your responsibility, no one else's, to build a successful business. I can give you everything I possibly can to be successful, all the tools, trainings, anything you need. I'm more than happy to do so. But it's important for you to realize, and I know you guys all know this, that you're responsible for your business, no one else is. You determine your own success. So that being said, I'll kind of get into the first step is, and we kind of talked about this last week, but I kind of just want to go through it real quick again, is have clearly defined goals. So these goals are going to help you push through the hard times and make you more excited about the business. I know that hopefully one day it'll happen. I'm sure if I just keep asking, it'll happen. But say Brian's like, if you hit 2-star, I'll get you a dog. Do you know how hard I would push for 2-star because I want that freaking dog? And so having like a clearly defined goal, and that doesn't have to be a material thing. It could just be something along the lines of like, I want, and I kind of get into this a little later, is once you hit a goal, you can kind of look back and say, wow, look how much I've learned. Look how much I've grown from hitting this goal. So it doesn't always have to be material. It could be personal. But I find that like for now at least, we have a wedding coming up. We want to buy a house. I want a dog. Hopefully he's listening. I want a boat. So like, I guess maybe I'm materially driven. Having a boat would bring me so much joy. As you guys know, I'm a marine biologist. I love being on the water. It's my happy place. So having clearly defined goals, and sometimes it could just be a rank goal or an income goal or, a personal goal, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, whatever it is. Make sure you have clearly defined goals. And sometimes these goals change over time, and that's okay. They're meant to change. Once you hit a certain rank or a certain milestone, you might shift gears a little bit and work toward another goal. But it's always important to have a goal in mind so you know what you're working towards. And then, so yeah, like I said, Right. Okay. So then write out your goals and your vision and look at them every morning. And I know some of you have a vision board. Sometimes you want to write them out and look at them. I mean, I know what I did is I actually wrote up a whole thing and I read it out loud on my phone. So that way I recorded it. So on my way to work, I would listen to myself like telling me my vision and like everything. So that was really, really helpful for me. So when you're doing this, make sure you know why you're setting a goal. Don't just set it because everyone else is setting it. Make sure it has meaning to you. So ask yourself, what is the significance of this goal? What do I have to do to hit this goal? Is this goal in line with my priorities? And am I willing to make sacrifices to hit this goal? So those are really, really important things to ask yourself, because if you don't like have yeses or like, you know, want to make sacrifices, it's not a goal that's going to drive you. So make sure that the answers to these questions are like really, really important to you, because that's what's really going to drive you. Step 2 is schedule time to make a goal happen. Use a calendar. I know a lot of you use a calendar already, but Google Calendar is amazing. I honestly use my, what's it called? My iCalendar. I think it's like on my iPhone, and it connects. I have a Mac, so it connects. And like, I literally have everything so scheduled out because I know if I didn't, I would forget. So use a calendar and make sure you schedule time to make a goal happen. And work from a to-do list. As you guys notice, I'm super huge on to-do lists. And then that's to make the most out of your time, so that, you know, when you sit down to do work, or you have that 15 minutes that, like, you know, in between tasks that you can focus on your business, you know what you have to do, and you're not just sitting there scrolling social media and wasting time. And set aside business hours or minutes. Because, and I know some people like to do it kind of free-flowing, and that's totally fine, but just make sure when you're doing that free-flowing kind of schedule, you're just checking things off your to-do list. So like, I know for me, I worked today. I went in for, 10 hours or more today. So I made sure I woke up in the morning. I had, an hour to work on my business. I worked out for 30 minutes, got showered up, went to work, and I came home, and the first thing I did was sat down on my computer. I honestly made this presentation like a half an hour before the team call. So I knew what I had to do, and it was more of a free-flowing schedule as opposed to like really setting aside time. And then learn self-discipline. And I've always been very self-disciplined, but I know it doesn't come naturally to people, and that just takes time and practice and doing it over and over and over again. Self-discipline isn't innate. Like, it's sometimes, like, there's sometimes, like, for example, the other night, all I wanted to do was just Netflix and chill. Like, that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to curl up, watch an episode of Friends, but I knew that I had things that like would just eat at the back of my mind until I got done. So I forced myself to sit down, get everything done, and that way I could really relax and enjoy my evening. And then also, so this for me is huge. And if you're taking your business seriously, use your weekends to get ahead. And I'm not saying work all weekend. Set aside an hour or two in the morning to just knock off key things. So like on the weekends, I set up my challenge groups. I get things prepared for the next week, so I don't have to do them during the week. And again, like, it doesn't have to be crazy amounts of time you spend, but do what you need to do to get yourself ahead, so that when the week starts, you're not feeling like you're drowning or anything like that. And I love this quote, and I like repeat it to myself all the time, is do now what others won't, so later you can have what others can't. And like that right there, like whenever I'm feeling kind of like, I don't really feel like working my business right now, like I remember that, and I'm like, get up and do it, because you want that boat, and you want that dog, and you want to get married and all this stuff. So you better get up and do it, so that later on in life, when you have kids, you could be home with your kids and not have a nanny raise them or anything like that. So like, those are my goals, and like, I know that. And so I'm doing now what might not be easy or what I want to do, but I know it's going to set me up for success in the long run. Okay, and then, I mean, again, work from a list, and make sure when you're working from a list, say you don't, like today, I didn't have time to knock out everything on my to-do list, and I won't before I go to bed. Like, it's just not going to happen. So what I do is I make sure that in the morning when I have my list, I prioritize. So do the actions that are going to make the most difference in your business. So say you don't have time to, comment back and forth on your social media or check in with your challenge groups or whatever it is. Make sure that you are spending your time inviting, following up, and posting on social media, because those are the key things that are going to move your business forward. So And I mean, I get it. We all have lives. We're all busy. And sometimes we just don't have time to, check everything off. And that's okay. But make sure you're checking off the most important things. That way, you moved your business forward that day, even if it only is 15 minutes. Another step 4 is increase productivity. So constantly challenge yourself and step out of your comfort zone. So if you feel like you're kind of coasting or just like, maybe I'll just do this today or just do that today, you're not stepping out of if you feel comfortable, you need to step out of your comfort zone. And I know that's scary. I know how scary it is. I do it all the time and it scares the poop out of me every single time. But I learn and I grow every single time I do it. And I've never had something negative happen to me because I've stepped out of my comfort zone. So, and this is something else too, like raise your own bar. Elevate yourself. Like don't have the need for someone else to tell you could do a little bit better. Know in yourself that you could do better. Like I am always striving, always to do better. And like sometimes, it takes some extra energy and that's okay. And honestly, when you raise your own bar and you push yourself to new levels, it's just going to help you in one way or another, whether it be personal in your business, fitness related, nutrition related. I am always learning and trying to elevate my own bar because that's the only way you're going to get ahead. And then this is another quote that I love: average will never make you extraordinary. Step 5 is create influence. So when you're posting on social media and talking to people, like whether it be through DM or whatever it is, engage your audience, show value in your posts. Don't just I used to do this. I'm totally guilty. I used to just post a picture of my food and be like, here you go, guys. And they're like, okay, what is it? What's the recipe? Literally didn't give any value whatsoever. It's like a salad. What are people going to gain from that unless it's a really awesome salad that you have a really cool recipe for? But if you have the recipe, share it with people. Really bring value. Make people come to your page. When people come to your page, are you giving them value? And ask yourself, how do you stand out? Why are people going to want to follow you? Why are they going to want to interact with you? Why are they going to want to engage with you? So really ask yourself how you're creating influence. And it doesn't have to be only on social media. It could be in real life too. Not that social media is not real life, but you know what I mean. Even in the workplace or with your friends, think about how you can really create influence. Level 6 is level up. So I kind of said this before, you're not entitled. No one's entitled, even if they think they might be, some of the millennials out there, my brother. But make sure that you know that you're not entitled, that you have to do hard work to get great things, and be proactive too. I always tell my boss this, but be proactive instead of reactive. So reactive, you're just putting out the fires as they come up, whereas proactive, you're laying down some fireproof tarp so no fires will ever pop up. And then think outside the box too. You've seen other coaches, how they're all doing their thing, and maybe think of something different that's going to make you stand out. Maybe run a challenge group a different way, or post something different on your social media. Do something cool in your social or your Instagram stories. So really think outside of the box and think about the best way you can help your clients as well. Okay, so this is the most important one, and I was listening to her talk about this, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is so true. And even for my own business, my business didn't start taking off until I made it a point to learn how to lead. And I didn't realize I was doing it at the time. And sometimes you're just kind of forced into it, sometimes you start growing your team and you just have to become a leader. And honestly, that's kind of what happened to me. I started growing my team and I just was forced to become a leader. And did it push me out of my comfort zone? Yes, absolutely. I'm not gonna, guys, when I first started coaching, and I was on Alexis's team call, and she called on me to speak, even if it was for hey, what's your favorite color? I was peeing myself and sweating, because that's how much I hated public speaking or any kind of speaking to a large group. I was so nervous every single time. And because I'm growing this team and everything, I had to start doing my own team calls. Do you know how, I might not have shown it, maybe I did, but do you know how nervous I was our first team call? I was literally at the end, I had pit stains down in my hips. That's how much I was sweating. I was so nervous. But becoming a leader takes practice, time, practice. Oh my gosh, look at this grammar. Practice, time, consistency, and self-reflection. So becoming a leader, again, is not innate. So, well, maybe for some people it is, but for me, it wasn't innate. So, it takes practice, time, consistency, and self-reflection. You have to be able to look at your actions and say, hey, you know, I didn't lead in the best way that way. You know, maybe I should try something different. And some personal development books that are so amazing for leadership. Not books, I'm sorry, authors. Simon Sinek, Brendan Burchard, John Maxwell. If you haven't read the 21, I'll write it down. 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Great leadership book. Also, when you're learning to lead, try new things. Don't be afraid to try new things. Maybe they won't all work, but you might have something that really sticks and like really gets your team hyped. So don't be afraid to try new things. Also, you're going to fail. It's going to happen. And as long as you're mentally prepared for it, it'll literally, like I said, kind of just learn from it. You're gonna fail and learn from it. Don't kind of get down in the dumps about it or give yourself 24 hours to get down in the dumps in it. And fail forward. Keep moving forward, even if you do fail. And then learn to lead other people. I feel like that was said in the title. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. And then have the ability to teach. And the way that I see it is the better understanding you have of a certain topic, the more able-bodied you are to teach it. So like I've been working this business for 2.5 years. And if you were to tell me that I had to teach someone how to be a coach, like my first month as a coach, I'd be like, what? Like I have no idea how to teach that person how to coach. But now, after 2.5 years, I have experience as a coach and I have no problem teaching people how to be a coach because I've lived it. And honestly, your ability to teach really is determined by your own experiences, your own kind of, I guess when you want to learn, you'll learn and then you'll have that ability to teach. So that's another reason why we say, you know, do the workout programs, because the best speaker is experience. And then this is another huge one. And I actually started doing this recently and like kind of earlier when I was a coach too, is watch and learn from other leaders in the network. Follow top coaches if you're okay. Don't compare, because I always get in that comparison trap, but follow other like key leaders in the network. People that really inspire you, people that you can learn from, see how they lead and kind of learn from example. Like I love watching, Amy Silverman isn't really her lifestyle is my jam, but her attitude is not my jam. So I like follow her just to kind of see how she includes her lifestyle into her posts, because she's like, you know, she lives in Key West. So she's all about the water and snorkeling and everything like that. I also learn a lot from Melanie Mitchell because she's more business oriented and less so like lifestyle kind of posts. So, and like, I don't know if you guys follow her, but Haley Christensen cracks me up. I don't know if you watch her Instagram stories, but she's so crazy. And I love her because she is so crazy. So make sure you're like watching other leaders and kind of learning from them and seeing what they're doing. Because I honestly pick up a lot just from watching other leaders' Instagram stories. I'm like, oh, I can use that in my Instagram story. That's like really, really, really intuitive. I like that. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to unmute you all. Do you have any questions? Wait, don't speak yet. You're not unmuted. Hold on. Okay, now you're on mute. Do you have any questions?
There's some kind of weird background sound.
Is that Jamie again? Jamie?
What was that,
I
Jamie?
just muted myself.
I'm muting you again. Oh my gosh. Okay, does anyone have any questions about anything or anything they kind of want to share? I know this is kind of broad, but I feel like it's topics that we all need to be kind of reminded of every once in a while. Even like myself, I can't get enough of this stuff. Like it really just like lights my fire.
Okay, if no one's gonna go, I'm gonna go.
All right.
I am struggling like major, like coaching crisis. Like, am I meant for this? Am I built for this kind of struggle? I don't know what it is, but my challenge groups, and I'm trying to focus on the positive. Jamie's reminded me of this. There are people who are engaging, but for the most part, I feel as though like I sign these people up, they get all gung-ho, and then they last maybe a week or two, and then I never hear from them. So I'm like, what the hell am I doing wrong? Why aren't they as engaged as I would like them to be? And then I feel like it's my personal fault, and I'm really struggling with it. Do you guys have any advice?
I mean, I don't feel like that's your fault. You can't make somebody do something that they don't want to do. As long as you just keep setting the example and keep showing what you're doing, I feel like whenever they're ready to jump in and join you, they're going to. But also I'm new, so I mean, I haven't gone through that yet, but.
Jenny, I've noticed that, because I had a lot of girls doing that too, and I like totally switched up my challenge groups, and now I like run them way differently than I started, and I noticed that helped a lot. But also, I'm like on top of them from day one. Like, if day 2 they stop posting their workout, I text them. I'm like, did you do your workout today? And then eventually they just get in the habit of it. But I'm like on top of them the first week. Like, if they don't post their workout picture, I text them. I'm like, did you work out today? And then I've noticed that like they just get in the habit of it and they post and post and post. But like, you have to sometimes be on top of them or like they won't do it.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good tip, but I have like a lot of clients. I don't know if I could, that's a lot of time, right? Like that's the only thing.
Yeah, it is, but I would just pick like the people you know that are gonna last. Like if you know some people aren't, I mean, if you do have that many people, you would have to prioritize, but
yeah,
I like, if I know a girl is gonna like make a good challenge picture or like transformation picture, I like won't let her stop. Which is probably like, but they always end up thanking me. They're like, no, I didn't, but now I'm going to, thank you. And I'm like, damn right you are.
Yeah, and another thing too is I was actually listening to a call from Melanie Metro again today, and I sent it to you. She was saying that like, even if you're bringing the same, and like this is like the number one coach for 3 years in a row. She was saying this. She was saying, even if I bring the same energy to a challenge group, some are awesome. Sometimes like the engagement's off the charts, and other times engagement sucks. And like that's just the business. Like there's ups and downs, and I know it's hard. Like I actually ran a clean week group 2 months ago, and literally not a single one of my challengers participated, and I had 20 of them, and none of them participated. And I was like, okay, cool, like good talk. And like another thing too is because you have so many clients, maybe. And I was trying to think of this too, because I remember like we were talking about this earlier today. I was like, maybe if you had I remember how we were talking about, because you have so many clients, if you did like an email kind of thing and like mass emailed them all, just to save you time, you know, because like it's hard to really text everyone all the time, especially with that many clients. But if you emailed them maybe and just been like, you know, hey, like I noticed that you weren't participating in the accountability group. Please let me know if there's anything I can do to help, and kind of give them like a reason to respond. Be like, you know, how do you find the workouts are like working for you? Is there, do you need help with your nutrition? Like I'm here for you. If you've fallen off, like it's okay. Like that's life, and I'm here to help you, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
I do that already.
And they don't answer.
And I don't, sometimes I'll get an answer that's like, oh, I'm just busy. And then I'm like, okay, well, let me help you with maybe it's like a priority setting exercise or a time management exercise. And then I send that off to them. I'm like, let me know when you're done, then we'll figure this out. Mm-hmm. Nothing. Or else I don't get a response at all. So I'm like, what is going on here? Like, I have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
The only common denominator is me. So I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I don't know.
This is just an idea that popped in my head, like how Brooke said it as well. Like there are gonna be some people that you know they have the full potential, but they just need that added push. Maybe because I know that you speak to them about what are their goals and everything. Maybe you have like a 3-way calling with one of us. Maybe we can relate more to them in another aspect. You know, we could talk about like the journey, how tough it is and everything, just to give them that push, that motivation from hearing from somebody else's story or speaking to somebody else, just to give them that extra push.
It's actually a really good idea. Yeah.
Or like you can even ask us to, like, if you think that one of our stories will relate really well to someone, add us to the accountability group and we'll go live in there for everyone to see and be like, listen, this is what I went through, kind of thing. And we could all go in there and like share our stories and why this has helped us so much, kind of thing. And then they can see like, oh, I relate to this girl, or oh, I relate to her. Like her story really vibes with me, and it'll kind of move them forward, you know?
That's a good idea, because Autumn was doing that now with her Obsessed with Coaching group, where she has like a weekly guest speaker. So maybe we could do that in each other's groups.
Yeah, I'd be down for sure. I think it's good to get other perspectives too, like, because if you're just like, I mean, learning from the same person over and over again, you're going to kind of just keep learning the same stuff. So I believe that it's really great to learn from different people because you always take something away from each person, you know?
Especially that if, like, let's say I may be related to somebody who is either overweight or is taking it a little bit difficult, and then like either you or Danielle, anybody who can relate to somebody, let's say in my group, who is more already in the fitness side, who didn't have the same struggles that I had. So then they can relate to you guys. So that's like we should do that. Like, honestly, we should.
I think that's a really, yeah. I'm totally willing to go live in you guys' challenge groups. Just let me know.
Yeah, and we're more than happy to go live in yours too. So if you want to add us and just be like, hey, can you go live this day? Sure. Sign me up. I'll do it. And I think that's a really good idea. I like never thought of that before. I don't know why. That's just like good brainstorming team.
Or even like we could go live together, right? Where it's like I'm interviewing you almost. Can you do that somehow?
You can. It's a little bit of a process because we'd have to link up Zoom to Facebook Live. So we can do it, but it's going to be like us on Zoom. So yeah, totally doable. It just it's very difficult to set up. So if you want to do it, please let me know because I could send you the YouTube video that I used to get it set up, and it's still a little bit difficult. But you can make it work, and I'm here if you have any questions getting it set up.
Cool.
Also, if you know that you're also, it kind of popped in my head. If you know anybody, like let's say if this particular challenge group is kind of, not alive, like let's say, like when I joined Clean Week, even though I was one of the coaches hosting, but I did post it. Like, if I know it's slowing down, I posted my workouts. Even though they don't know that I was doing Clean Week, I was doing 80-day obsession during that time, but I still posted my photo. That way they can see, oh, look, somebody posted. Let me see. Let me post. Maybe we can, if we having that difficulty in a challenge group, let us know. And then one of us, like, add us, and we just hop in and, interact and everything just to get that ball rolling. Because maybe that's what they need to see, more interaction.
Maybe, yeah, that's a good idea too.
Yeah, actually. No, you go.
I'm finally like not in my car. I was gonna ask you, Jenny, when you sign people up at the beginning, do you set like the expectations at the beginning? Is it, you know what I mean? Like if it's not set from the beginning, like what you want from people, like, are people like, yeah, I'm in this for the long haul. Like I have these big plans, and then they're like, peace out, second week, I'm done. Like, does that seem like what it is?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I just finished the book Finish, and he talks about, like, John Acuff talks about us setting these goals, and these goals turn into these big goals and these big goals. And it's like, people are like, I want to do a triathlon. And he's like, dude, have you ever ran before? And they're like, no, never ran. He's like, have you ever biked before? And they're like, no, I've never biked. Like, what about swimming? He's like, nope, never swam. And he's like, why are you trying to do a triathlon? So it's like, is their goal, like you want this so much for them, and they're like, yeah, I want that. Yeah, I want that. And then they open up Beachbody On Demand, and they're like, holy shit, what is going on?
Yeah.
Like, do you think that, like, maybe that's some of it too? Because I know, like, when I was in Danielle's challenge groups before I signed up, I don't think I posted it all because I was like absorbing all of it. Like, it was all like so new to me. I'm like, what do you mean check in? Like, I don't even check in with my husband. Like, why am I going to check in with strangers? Like, I'm not going to post videos for you. Like, that's weird. So it was like, I feel like it took me a couple of times to be like, yeah, I can take a selfie. Yeah, I can show you that I worked out. I guess I can rate my day if you want to know. So
yeah.
Sorry, I have my adrenaline's like.
No, it's good. I love the energy.
That's great.
I need some of it. I'm like,
I'm gonna die in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, what?
Sounds like Jamie just took some Energize.
And also,
I don't know. I think, to be honest, I think I'm just like having a tough time right now, like personally, and I'm like making this bigger than it is, and maybe like you're right. I'll just write it out. I'm gonna write it out. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I'll take all your suggestions. Like, I'll definitely try anything because I really love doing this, but it's just a really shitty. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I just want to shake everybody and be like, "This is your life, people."
it's so funny.
You can't want it more than they do, though.
I do. I fucking want it more than they do.
You can't. You can only meet them where they are at, and so if they're ghosting your emails, then ghost them right back. You're the one that paid the $200 and something.
Yeah.
Seriously though, Jamie's right. Like I felt it's so funny, Jenny, because you're saying like what I've said before. I'm like, why do these people not care about their health? Like, don't they want my help? They paid me to help them, and now they're just gonna ghost me. Like, I don't get it. I like literally vented about this to Alexis like a couple months ago. I was like, what is going on that these people don't want to be like in good shape and in good health? Like, it just didn't make any sense to me, because in my mind, like, that's what I want. I want to be in good health. I want to be, the best that I possibly can be, not only for myself, but for those around me. And just other people's priorities aren't there sometimes. And it's hard for us to understand because, like, we've always been health conscious. But for some people, they're just like, oh, those fries look really good. And I don't really feel like working out today. So it's just not gonna happen. And
and that's totally fine. And like I'm totally like when I'm like gonna have a treat or I'm like don't feel like working out, I share that in the challenge group and I share that with my clients, and I'm like, I don't expect you to be perfect. I just expect you to show up. And I fucking expect you to answer my message when I message you, bitch. I don't say that, but I'm thinking it. It's just rude. It's fucking rude, and it drives me crazy. I don't know.
Some people need tough love also. Like, the other day, I think I made a video or something, and I was like really tough, and I was like straight to the point. I was like, no bullshit. You guys got to do it. Don't cry. I was basically saying, you're here, you're crying because you don't got, your health is shitty and all this kind of stuff. Don't cry. Don't cry to me because I don't want to hear it, because I gave you all the solution and you guys are crying. I don't want to hear it. And then all of a sudden it's like, you know what, you're right. Like, you are so right. I needed that like tough love, that like no bullshit to the side. And so you guys know, I don't know, me and my family, we clap our hands when we get too aggressive. Like, stop playing, man. Just like, we'll get into it.
Something else I just thought of too, Jenny, is just lay it, like Jo Marie just said, be tough with them. Be like, hey, I'm checking in with you because I care about you and your well-being. If you don't want me to check in with you anymore, just say the word and I won't. Like, literally just tell them straight up, so that way you're not wasting your time on people that aren't taking their health seriously. Like, just say, listen, if you don't need my help, or if you don't feel the need to respond or something like that, like, of course, phrase it in a nice way, but just be like, listen, I don't want to bother you, so when you're ready, come back to me and I'll stop checking in with you for the meantime, kind of thing. Sometimes you just got to be real and like tough love, and they're like, wait, no, Jenny, wait. And like, sometimes you want what you can't have, kind of thing. So if you say like, hey, I'm going to peace out, you're on your own, they're like, wait, no, Jenny, come back. I'll participate. I'll do it. Maybe that's something you can do that. I don't know.
What always cracks me up is the people that won't answer your message, but they'll watch your Instagram stories.
Yep.
And you're like, what are you even, like, do I need to say like, hey girl, I know you're watching this, so answer your message.
Yep.
Yeah. And sometimes,
I'm so tempted to do that.
oh my God, me too. Sometimes I just want to like ring people out. I'm like, can you stop ghosting me? Like, I know you're ghosting me, biatch.
Yeah.
One thing I recently did was one of my girls who I like know, when she did it for 1 month and was like so strong, and then she just like fell off the face of the earth. And so I literally wrote her a handwritten note and sent it to her house in Illinois. I live in Colorado. I handwritten her a note and I said, these were the goals you told me you had a month ago. this is how far you got, because she shared with me how far she got. I said, it's now a month later and you have not progressed at all. So I gave her some tough love and I said, my next group is starting this state. I would love to see you there to finish your goals.
Oh,
and,
damn.
I literally be like, you were the one who set these goals, not me. I'm not trying to like force you to do this. You wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Kind of just like give them some tough love and like tell them what their goals were, and like you're not getting to those goals because of you, not me.
Did it work?
Yeah. She's doing a workout.
That is ballsy, Brooke. Right on. Good for you.
Well, I think like if someone told me like, hey, these are your goals and you're not doing them, like I'd be like, shoot, those were my goals and I'm not doing it. So I don't know. Sometimes I try to think of like, sometimes I don't want to do my workout. Like, what do I need? And sometimes I need someone to be like, these are the goals you said, and you're not getting towards them. Like, what are you doing with your life? And then I'm like, damn, I should be doing something, you know?
Yeah. Good point. Thanks, ladies. That was actually really helpful. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said earlier to you too, like, and even in this call, I said it, there's months or days or weeks that you're just not going to feel good. Like there's so many times, I'll be real with you guys. When I first started coaching, there were so many times I doubted myself. There's times that I'm like, maybe it'd be easier if I didn't coach, or I would have so much more time. But then I'm like, it's not worth it. Like, I know what coaching can bring into my life, and it's not worth giving up. Like, and to this day, there are even days still that I'm like, I don't really want to work the business today. But I show up because I know kind of what I was saying before. Like, I'm doing now what others won't, so later I can have what others can't. And it's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows, and we're all going to have those, like, down in the dumps days. I know that after 80-day obsession, like, I don't know, something, like, hit me, and I, like, for a week straight, I was just so kind of just lethargic and depressed, and, like, I don't know what happened. And sometimes, like, it can be personal things that are kind of affecting your business, and it's all the flow of everything, and, like, this too shall pass kind of thing,
Yeah, I know. Well,
yeah.
Thanks, guys. I feel so much better.
Good. I'm glad it helped. And thanks, guys. Thanks so much for, like, you guys are spitting out ideas that are freaking amazing. Jamie, I gave you a shout out before you weren't on the call, but I shouted you out for the idea of having the Coach to Be Mindset group. I think that was awesome.
Yeah.
Really great idea. Just like,
like, so smart.
I just, like, I look at that stuff, I'm like, how am I supposed to help people if I don't even know what I'm doing? And I'd rather like mess up in front of you guys than mess up in front of somebody who thinks that I know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, it's perfect. It's great.
I had a question about, I guess I could post in that group, but I had a question about like when she talks about a plate, like just however big of a plate.
I think she wrote like
Jenny was talking about like that she's so full from eating like a plate of food. Like, can we make like 2 plates of food and like spread it out a couple hours? Because I don't like being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think
because like, okay, so if I have my shake, I have my strawberries and I have my Shakeology and then I have almond milk. Is that a plate? Or can I also have a hard-boiled egg and a half an apple? Like, is it just whatever 50-50 is and I just keep eating until I'm not hungry? You know what I mean?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's the case.
Which one? I just keep eating?
Just do what you feel comfortable with. So
okay. That's what I was thinking. Like, just like in this meal, you eat 50% this and 50% this. If I'm still hungry, I'm going to eat a little bit more. Yeah. And if I'm still hungry, I'll just eat some veggies.
That's what I'm doing.
Water if you're still hungry.
Water first, veggies most.
Water first, veggies most. I like it.
Is anybody else having a problem with this water bottle?
No, I love it. The only thing I don't like.
Listen.
That's amazing.
Is that annoying?
I don't like that it condensates because all my other ones are double insulated, so this one's not. I'm a little spoiled brat, but I like how big it is.
I got 3 of them.
I know. Brooke got 3 somehow.
How did you get 3? Awesome.
They just accidentally sent me 3.
Wow.
I texted Danielle. I was like, hey, did you get 3 in water bottles in your 2B mindset? Because I did.
No.
Right on. Challenge group prizes. There you go.
That's what I said.
know. I gave one to my mom because she's been doing really, really good, and then I'm gonna give the other one to get away.
Aww.
Sweet.
And something else I was gonna say too is like for the To Be mindset is I don't necessarily like to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like I like to have 6 small meals throughout the day. So what I've been doing is kind of like Jamie just said, almost breaking them up, making sure that they're still like the correct portions, but breaking them up over an hour or so, because I find that if I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'm starving in between. So I have to kind of break things up for me to just have a consistent influx of food and like never be really hungry, but also feel content throughout the day. That's just the way I'm doing it. I feel like this is like kind of one of those programs where, I mean, it has a structure to it, but it's also kind of flexible. So and if I'm still hungry, like you guys said, I drink water and eat veggies. That's a snack.
I'd rather do it like that. Because today I had lunch and I was so full. I was uncomfortable. Like, yeah, I'm still uncomfortable. Like, honestly. And I'm like, I got to break it down. My body's already used to it, breaking it down. Like, I can see it for somebody new time to enjoy it. But I think it's like we're so used to eating small portions that it's just like too much food. Our body's like, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing to me?
And your time too, like your body needs time to adjust to any kind of new nutrition plan. And I know even with 80-day obsession, like I struggled in the beginning, and even with, oh my God, I think I told you guys this. I was on Plan D, and I was literally felt sick to my stomach all day long because I was so full, and I had to learn like Plan D is not for you, Danielle. Like you need to chill the F out and go back to Plan.
I had the same thing. Yeah, I had the exact same thing. That was a lot of food. I was like, I'm going to go broke. I live in the north. You know how expensive food is up here?
Yeah, you're going to have to go hunting. All right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go, but I want to take a quick team pick.
My phone. I got my phone, so like you guys are actually on the laptop, so I'm happy.
Yes.
I can do it.
All right, I
How do we
can't
get
but
We can put a gift for her.
oh, they're perfect.
Fine. I was having a tantrum earlier, and I was like, no, I don't want to show my face. You know.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys are so cute.
You send that to me, Danielle?
Yes, I'll send it to you. It's not the best quality, but
That's so good.
it'll get the job done.
Yeah, you came out so dark. I'm just like letting you know.
Oh, me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't need to see me.
Guys, do you have any other questions? If not, I'll let you go, and I have to eat dinner. It's 10 o'clock here. I'm totally not following the 2B mindset because you should eat dinner way before you go to bed. Does anyone else have any other questions before I let you go? No? Y'all Gucci?
Gucci boat.
All right. Awesome. I will talk to you guys soon. Have an awesome evening. And
Bye. Thanks.
keep rocking on.
Bye. Love you all.
Love you. Bye.